It has been known by many names: froth, frisbee golf, basket frisbee. Now more than ever, people are discovering the joy of disc golf, making disc golf one of the fastest growing sports. The history of disc golf is connected to the history of frisbee. In fact, the man who invented the frisbee, Ed Hedrick, is also the one credited with the invention of disc golf. Early versions of disc golf consisted of throwing a frisbee at light poles, trees, trash cans, pipes, or whatever else could be used. The game became more official in 1975 when Ed Hedrick invented the modern disc golf basket. That same year, Hedrick invented the first disc golf course. Before his death in 2002, Hedrick invented over 300 courses. Today, there are over 3,000 courses worldwide, and disc golf has evolved into a legitimate competitive sport.
It's a big recreational sport for families, and you can see that a lot of families are coming out, a lot of friends are coming out, and then there also is the competitive side, which is getting greater. There's so many competitors. If you turn around right now, these tournaments fill up so fast. So everything on the casual golf and on the competitive side are both growing for sure.
And people are just getting so hyped about trying to make sure they get into those certain events around here. So I would say it's definitely, probably grown 5-6 times in its popularity is just by looking at the local tournament scene around here.
Thanks for all your guys' help. I appreciate everything. Thank you.
Yeah, it seems like just a lot more people are playing recreationally, just at courses, But I think the tournament base for people is starting to grow too.
When I pull into town, I can go to a grocery store 10 miles away. And I'm in there getting groceries, and they see my end of a shirt. They go, "Are you here for the tournament this weekend?" So I think that we're getting a lot more public awareness, and that's what we need.
This is contrary to some popular opinions about disc golf. Disc golf has developed a reputation of a pseudo-sport and not a real competition worth paying attention to. This could not be further from reality. To be successful on the disc golf course, you need a mix of athletic ability and mental focus.
A lot of people, I think, consider golf as a sport, and I'd probably compare it to that in a sense, because it's basically the same thing, except instead of using clubs and a ball, you're just throwing a disc.
Yeah, it takes a great amount of concentration, focus, athleticism to throw the certain types of shots, and
For sure.
execution.
I think they need to come out and see somebody like Dave Feldberg, King Climo, those people perform and see that they are true athletes.
I would like to say that it isn't that game that people think it is. People feel this game of just goofing around. Come out and watch a professional event. You'll see that it is taken very serious. Rules are called. All the same things in golf exist: honor, integrity, sportsmanship.
Traditional golf and disc golf share a great deal. The objectives of the two games are basically the same. A player starts the hole at the tee pad, and the goal is to finish the hole in as fewest strokes as possible. The overall goal is to finish the course in as fewest throws as possible. The two sports are very similar, but some consider disc golf a lesser game. They do not consider disc golf to be real golf.
Well, first things first, you said real golf, we say ball golf, because both golfs are real. So we say ball golf and we say disc golf. So we try to stop people right there whenever they say real golf versus disc golf. All of us will say ball golf and disc golf. So I basically, somebody who'd never heard of it before, I'd tell them that it's a lot more serious than they think it is. Some of our players are getting close to being as dedicated as Tiger Woods, I would say. Guys in disc golf now that are practicing really hard and practicing all the time, and it's their whole life. They're just driving around the country and they're insanely good.
There are hundreds of types of discs available. The different types of discs serve the same purpose as the different types of clubs in ball golf. There are 3 main types of discs. There are drivers, which can be characterized by their sharp edges and long flight patterns. There are putters. These discs are similar to the types that you would play catch with. Putters have dull edges and are designed to fly straight and slow compared to drivers. And then there are mid-range discs. These discs have a predictable flight pattern and can be used as drivers by beginning players. Mid-range discs are a good first disc to buy when starting out in disc golf.
if you only can buy one and you just want to buy one, I'd make it a putter or a mid-range disc, something really neutral. You don't need to go for distance. You just want to go for control and just learn how a Frisbee flies. And you can have plenty of fun like that. So these are mid-range. These are my drivers. All different types, short range, long range, and these are my putters. The ceiling of what's possible to do with the disc is going to keep going up. Yeah.
Now we have discs that are like clubs, and they all do something different. I mean, people can throw 600-foot shots that go over a hill, then roll, and then circle a basket. Or they can throw one over a hill, make it go left through a tunnel, and then skip up to the basket and go in. So, I mean, the abilities to do the different shaping of the shots, we have more shapes than real ball golf, as they would call it, or ball golf.
Along with many types of discs, there are many types of throws. There are two main types of throws: forehand throw and a backhand throw. One of the best features of disc golf is the low startup costs for players. Rather than needing to buy expensive clubs, a player can get started playing disc golf for less than $40. Almost all of the disc golf courses are free. With no green fees and very low startup costs, it's no wonder that disc golf is growing so rapidly.
So everybody's kind of coming up, getting better together, and moving up.
Most people that play once come back for more. Everyone that plays disc golf can remember how they got started.
Started out just playing with my family and just playing out here. I used to play, I remember, with a big old Ultimate disc because I just didn't really like disc golf discs. And then eventually I started trying them. I remember a professional that was one of the best players in the world at the time in 2001. His name was Scott Stokely. And I think he's retired now, but he came through Corvallis on like a little tour doing clinics. And I remember we went out to the soccer fields in another place in town and he showed us like throwing over 500 feet. None of us had ever seen anybody near that good. And I remember just seeing that guy throw and watching him do what he was doing and just kind of being like pretty amazed and really thinking how cool that was.
1997, Western Michigan University. I was out. My buddies wanted me to go floffing. I didn't know what that meant. They told me to get in the car and they took me out to the local course. And they took $2 off me. And then I practiced and practiced for a week, bought a disc, went back, challenged them, won $2 back. They freaked out. And so from that moment I joined leagues and then started playing.
I got started in a small 9-hole city park, going and getting a Frisbee at the market and learning from the local crew of players, you could call them.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same thing. I just started in Eugene, just at Westmoreland, just like a 9-hole course. Just bought some discs at the store, played against sports, and kind of learned just from the people playing the course.
Disc golf has come a long way since the 1960s. This casual game has become a real sport. The future of disc golf seems to be bright.
Well, I think it's just going to keep growing I think it's picking up speed, and I think it's going to keep growing at the pace it's growing. I think, we've had a couple tournaments now that have been sponsored by like Coca-Cola just for small amounts, and I think we're just becoming more visible, to the big corporate sponsors that might be interested in being involved in the game, and that's where golf gets all its money. That's where every sport is picking up a lot of its money, is from advertising dollars.
Keep going. I'll take it.
I'd expect the purses to go up. I expect the talent pool to keep getting deeper as we get more people and more really good natural athletes choosing disc golf as their sport. Because right now, we're pros, but who knows? If Kobe Bryant had been disc golfing his whole life, who knows how good he would be with all the natural athletic gifts that he has. So I think we're going to see more people like that.
They're athletes. You know what I mean? They're not hobbyists who happen to be lucky enough to play Frisbee on the weekend. They're athletes. Instead of playing basketball 2 days a week, they go out to play disc golf. And I think that's where we need to get to. A place where you can drop your kids off at 10 o'clock and know they're getting exercise and pick them up, at 3 o'clock on a Saturday.
The sport is also gaining international popularity. More and more countries are embracing the new sport. The new international expansion is free from the negative stereotypes that are holding disc golf back in America.
And I think that, when you say it's a sport, there's this stigma around disc golf. Hippies, six-pack, where's your dog? Where's your tie-dye bandana? And I think that stems from the hippie days in the 60s and 70s. But what you have to realize is, and I tell people this all the time, disc golf's in 36 countries professionally right now. And we're the only country really besides England who had this hippie craze in the 60s and 70s. So when I go to Asia or I head to Northern Europe, it's just a sport. People go out to play a sport and then they're there.
Some people may think that disc golf has not reached the level of ball golf, but the two games do attempt to teach the same lessons about integrity and sportsmanship.
It's a real game. It's a place you can take your kid. He can learn about life. And the one difference is, and I want to say this on this video, and I haven't said it on any other video before, I'm a coach for the University of Oregon. I coach disc golf. I play. I coach flag football. I teach classes, football, women's basketball. And I'll say that I love those sports. I grew up playing them, basketball, football, baseball. But what do they teach you? Well, we won the regional championships when I was in 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. In my 9th grade year, coach called a timeout and said, Dave, come here. You didn't even ask for the rest of the team. I said, what? He said, I want you to foul that kid when he goes to the rim. I go, what do you mean? He goes, he's to make free throws, foul him. Right? So I went in the game with 17 seconds and just hacked this kid. He missed the shot. He missed his free throws. I drove it up the court. They fouled me. I made the free throws. We won the championship, right? What kind of morals did that teach the kid? Teach that you want to break a rule to succeed. And I think that's where some team sports are headed in the United States. Too much about winning and not about participating. And I think disc golf and ball golf, for example, are individual sports that still teach honor, integrity, and sportsmanship. And we need to realize that that's what we need to teach our children if we want them to succeed in this hard world that we've created.
As the sport of disc golf continues to grow and become more recognized, it will be able to shake the negative reputation that some people have associated with it. Disc golf is a true sport.